Mic's on here. Okay, hi out there. Hi. Yeah, we did have the mic on, so we're kind of fumbling around for a minute, but we're back now. Everything's ready to go. We are plugged in, tuned up. This is absolutely coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. My name is Paul Calamere. I'm here with my co-host,
Jean-Louis Filion. Bonjour, mes amis.
Bonjour. And we are in the studios of 4680Q on this snowy day in Niagara Falls. Hockey weather, John.
La neige est peu.
Yes. La neige est belle. But we're going to move through this show. This is show number 117. But before we get to the show here, I want to mention a couple things. And one of them is I got my jersey labeled. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at it. Can you see it, John?
Watch you don't.
Can you see it? Can you see the HABSOLUTELY?
Absolutely.
There you go, boys. We got our jersey ready to go. And if you need a jersey labeled up, give a shot to the guy who did it. He did a great job on it.
Who did your jersey, by the way?
We have Bobby Ogilvy up in Kingston,
Ontario.
Kingston, Ontario. But I'm not hearing anything.
Your levels aren't good, or what?
It's just my headphones here. Here we go. Okay, there was this thing's running in mono, not stereo, and if you put it into all the way in,
I always put it all the way in.
Well, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, because
she said
I like it in stereo.
You like it in stereo on the radio, but yeah, that's why I wasn't hearing it. And if you plug it all the way in, which I do, that's good advice. That's good advice.
I think so.
And if I got to pull it out a little bit so I can hear. Anyway.
Well, that's.
I mean, we're talking about something.
Sounds like technique.
It's technique.
Remember those Technique receivers?
Technique. Yeah, we used to have them.
They were classic receiver from the 70s.
They were the best. Technique. And what was the other one there?
Morantz was my favorite.
Morantz.
That was my
Howie Morantz.
Yes. Yeah, he used to
talk
about hockey like we do.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Now I got number 22 on this jersey, if you notice. See number 22?
Vendid.
And a lot of people are wondering, why did you get 22 on that? Do you like Steve? No. The reason I got 22.
Yeah, you're not 22 anymore.
No, not far from 22.
And your football number was 53.
That's right. The reason I got 22 is because that's when we started this show in 2022.
Wow, it's been that long?
It's been that long.
Seems like only yesterday.
Yeah. It's like yesterday was a simple game we played. Hey, listen. But you know what? Some other famous Habs have had 22 on there. Not just me. Some other favorite Habs, they've had 22. Like Donnie Marshall. Remember him?
Oh, now Donnie Marshall. Phil Goyette.
Yes. And John Ferguson, the toughest guy ever in the NHL.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you say John Ferguson, I remember a picture of Ferguson getting ready to throw a haymaker, and Bobby Hull was already bleeding from his nose.
I'm just going to turn this little mic over here a little bit. Okay, there you go. So you can get a straight shot at it. It was kind of behind the and I don't have to watch the thing. Everything's working. Okay, and then we also had Steve Shutt.
Stevie Shutt. You can't. I mean, we talk about Stevie Shutt all the time. You know, pal of Getty and Alex of Rush, and Shutty was like him and Guy. They were the goal scorers on the Habs in the 70s.
That's right. And Stéphane Richer. And he's our last 50-goal scorer.
I was going to say, you talk about a goal scorer, Stéphane Richer. He put the puck in the net.
Benoit Brunet.
Yes, Benoit Brunet, a little later.
Steve Bégin. Another tough guy.
Who?
Steve Bégin. Another tough guy.
Don't know him well.
No? Oh, he's a tough guy. He was tough. Ooh, he was tough. He was tough. How tough was he? Did I hear that?
Yes. How tough was he?
Well, he was tough. I don't have a Rodney Dangerfield for that one. I got ones for ugly and fat, but not tough.
Oh.
How about the Polish Gretzky? Dale Weiss. That is Drew Deeks' best friend, Dale Weiss.
The Polish Gretzky. That's
what they call him. No, is it the Polish Gretzky? Yeah. Or no, the Dutch Gretzky. The Dutch Gretzky. That's what it was. The Dutch Gretzky.
Oh.
Yeah, and of course, Cole Caulfield was the latest one who wore it, and
CC, and he's now 13.
He's now 13 for Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Hockey. He's wearing it in honor of
And
Johnny Gaudreau.
CC is just like blowing up the league, right? He's played so well this year.
Yeah, he's got 25 goals?
Yeah, he's like been prolific.
He's good. He's going to hit probably maybe 40, if he keeps going. I mean, he seems to be popping them in here and there. So there you go. That's the story behind 22, in case any of you cared or
so
were
it's
wondering.
2022.
Why I chose 22? Because that's when the show started. Absolutely.
There you go. That's a good choice.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It meant something anyway. So when I'm long gone and the sweater's still around, somebody will say, "Well, he must have liked Steve Shutt."
When you're long gone.
Yeah, when I'm long gone. He must have liked Steve Shutt. And they'll say, no. He had a show called Absolutely.
That started in 2022.
So, in the year
25.
No, 21, 22.
If man was still alive. If man was still alive.
Okay, Habs trivia.
Yes, let's get to it.
Well, let's just talk about let's touch on the games a little bit. And we just talked about this a second ago. And I said, it's not a great week for the Habs point-wise, but man, oh man, you watch those 3 games. The Detroit game was a little blah. They were listless, but the other 2 games were fantastic. We played good. We played really good. It's hard to criticize the team when they're out there skating and trying their best, and they didn't work out for us. We did get a point. The Detroit game was the one that was kind of blah. But other than that, John, it's a disappointing week. But on the other side of the disappointing week, point-wise, the other teams that we're looking to overtake or get into a playoff position against, they did crap too.
You mean like the Bruins?
Yeah, the Bruins and the Leafs.
The Bruins?
Yeah, and Ottawa. Ottawa jumped a little bit. They jumped up into that 3rd spot in our division, which is an important spot. We're only 3 behind them.
That's a team we have to watch. The Buffalo Sabres had a great game last night.
Yeah, they hammered the Bruins.
I think somebody got 2 hat tricks in the game, or 2 different guys had 2 hat tricks.
A hat trick. Yeah, that's interesting.
And of course, Ottawa is a team that we've really got to be careful of or be mindful of.
Yeah, they seem to be on top of it, but we do have important games going forward. So we have to watch
every game is important.
It's important, but these are the games, the 4-point games that we're going to beat the guys that are ahead of us. We played Boston once, Tampa once, Ottawa 3 times.
That's the series.
That could be whether we get in. Beating Ottawa could be whether we get into the
12 points
playoffs or not.
12 points, 6-6.
Yes. And Detroit, we play one more time, and Philly, we play twice. And all those teams are hovering around the wild card spot. So, our fate could be in our own hands.
I think it always is.
And it always is. And those games are important. So it's going to be interesting as we move through February and March.
Did you say faith or fate?
Fate.
Oh, okay.
You got to have fate
in your own hands.
So, Habs trivia.
Yes, let's get to it.
So we know Le Gros Bill, Jean Beliveau,
Le Gros Bill,
our beloved Le Gros Bill, Le Gros Bill. Yeah, Le Gros Bill. That's what's his name, Buzzard.
That's your cousin.
Yeah, that's
your cousin.
Our beloved Capitan held the position of captain for 10 seasons. A remarkable feat.
10 seasons, eh?
Yeah. But there was another player that shares that 10-year record as captain of our beloved Habs. Who was that player? Vinny Houdon. You might know the answer.
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Who was that other player that had held the captaincy
for 10 years?
For 10 years, along with our hero Jean Beliveau.
That's a really good question.
I'm going to give you 4 names.
Okay.
And all of them could have been the person. Number 1, Emile Bouchard.
Okay.
Bob Gainey.
Really? Bob Gainey, eh? I would never have thought of that.
He was captain.
Yeah, but I would never, like a 10-year stretch.
And he was on the team for a long time.
He was.
Saku Koivu.
Gee, and there's a forgotten name as well.
Yeah.
Sakko Koivu.
And Silvio Mantha.
Wow, isn't that's odd? Because I was thinking I'm thinking Henri Richard at one point. I'm thinking, did the Rocket even ever was the Rocket a captain?
That's a good question. I think he was,
but no? I mean, Henri was definitely.
I thought another guy. I thought probably Toe Blake. He captained the team for a long time. So from what I remember,
so for 10 years, I mean that's a big stretch. So Bouchard,
Emile Bouchard, Bob Gainey, Sakko Koivu, or Silvio Mantha.
See, and I was also thinking, Kirk Muller.
Yeah, Kirk Muller, yeah.
And I was also thinking Guy Carbonneau.
Guy Carbonneau. Yeah, Guy Carbonneau. Good one.
One of my favorite captains.
Yes.
So Bouchard.
Emile Bouchard, Bob Gainey, Sakko Koivu, or Silvio Mantha. They're all captains for the Habs, but which one was there for 10 years as captain?
Gainey could be the guy between Gainey and Bouchard for me.
Okay.
I'm going to go Butch Bouchard.
Okay, you're taking Butch Bouchard, and we got to turn this microphone up a little bit and get it more in your line Bouchard. Yeah, there you go. Let's get this up. Okay, good. Let's get some. We got to get some volume here. Volume is what we need for the radio people.
Bouchard,
big Butch Bouchard. Okay, well, what do you think out there in video land? You might have this. I don't know, maybe
or radio land,
or radio land for that matter. What do you think out there? The correct answer is Sakko Koivu.
Wow, eh?
He started with the Habs in 95-96 after playing his trade in Finland with TPS Turku in the SM Liga League. Drafted 21st overall in 1993 by the Habs, Koivu was a small in stature but huge on talent player and captain. His first season found him fourth in scoring amongst NHL rookies, tabling 45 points in 82 games.
Nice.
The next season, he was again on top of the NHL scoring leaders with 13 goals and 25 assists before suffering a knee injury that made him miss 32 games that year, but he still managed 56 points in 50 games.
Impressive.
Played that season. And I love Sakko Koivu. I always liked that guy. He was a good player, man. And he was captain, believe it or not, for 10 years out of the 14 he played with the Habs.
I mean, he carried himself extremely well.
Yeah, he was beloved.
And Sakko got cancer, right?
Yes. He became captain in 1998 with the departure of one Vinny Damphousse.
Another great goal scorer.
Yeah, another great guy. He retained that title for the next 10 seasons. Sakko was diagnosed with Burkitt's lymphoma on September 6, 2001, and it was cancerous. He missed nearly all of the 2001-2002 season because of it. I don't think any Habs fans held back the tears when he skated back on the ice, and I remember this as like it was yesterday, when he skated back on the ice at the Molson Center, making his triumphant return on April 9th, 2002, for the team's 80th game of the season to a standing ovation. And a lot of tears. A lot of people were touched when he made it back.
Very emotional.
And it was very emotional because, it was a serious thing he had. Koivu helped the team to a playoff spot, and they went on to beat the top-seeded Bruins in 6 games in that first round. And,
it doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't get better than that. And, I can't, Montreal's a place where guys like Sakko Koivu, Maurice Richard, and Jean Beliveau, when they get out on the ice, it's just an outpouring of love, standing ovations for a long time, and everything else. So when he stepped back on the ice after this bout with cancer, bald head and all, right? Remember?
Absolutely.
He had a beautiful head of hair, and then he was bald. It was a sight to behold in Montreal. I'm so happy that he was back. After becoming a free agent in the 2009 season, Koivu and the Habs parted ways, and Anaheim Ducks signed him to a 1-year contract and then re-signed him for 2 more years, after which the Ducks never offered him a new contract. And he retired on September 10th, 2014, after 18 seasons in the NHL.
Very respectable. I mean, anybody who can play 18 seasons in the NHL, that's unreal.
Yeah, he played like 1,124 games or something.
Yeah.
Like, he played a lot of games.
Totally impressive.
He had 500 or 600 points, I think, when it was all said and done. He had 255 goals, 577 assists. So that would make it, 832 points.
That's impressive.
Yeah. In 1,124 games. He won the Bill Masterson Trophy in 2001, 2002 for his bravery and cancer and coming back.
An old Minnesota Star who passed away as well when he was playing in the NHL.
That's right. And he won the King Clancy Memorial Trophy. You know what that's for?
Mr. Clancy's Trophy.
They all knew King Clancy. He's an icon in the NHL. But that trophy was awarded to the player that best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice and has made a noteworthy humanitarian contribution to his community. He won that in 2006, 2007.
So that's like the Walter Payton Trophy in the NFL.
Yeah, I guess.
But let me tell you, in the NFL, they make a huge deal about this Walter Payton Trophy. And the NHL really doesn't do justice to this trophy that they give up. Like you watch a playoff game right now, and they will identify who the representative of each team is for this humanitarian trophy that they will hand out at the end of the season. And you don't hear any kind of talk like that in the NHL. It's something the NHL could do a lot better in marketing, without a doubt.
Yeah, true enough, because really you don't hear anything about it.
Yeah. So
I bet you a lot of people never even knew it existed.
Yeah. So I hope, Mr. Bettman, you're listening. Obviously, listen up.
Yeah, there you go. He's gone anyway. He said he's retiring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bettman's stepping down the next couple of years. He said, and it couldn't happen soon enough for me.
I wonder who would replace him.
I don't know, but I think we're going to have a Canadian Stanley Cup winner in a couple of years.
It'd be nice to have a Canadian actually replace Gary Bettman.
Kevin O'Leary. How about him? Well, Pierre Trudeau or whatever his name is. Anyway, Koivu is now a senior advisor. He's 50 years old. He's a senior advisor for a Finnish hockey club he played for, TPS Turku, and co-owner of the team with his brother Mikko Koivu from the Minnesota Wild. You remember him. And Mika Kiprazov, who played for goaltender for the Calgary Flames. So there you go. That's what he's doing now. Congratulations, Saku. Not only were you the captain for 10 years, you were the first European captain of the Montreal Canadiens. Yes.
Absolutely.
I love the guy. I mean, I remember him. He was great on the ice. I loved to see when he was playing. He always felt good when Saku was on the ice.
And he was an inspirational guy. I mean, like, what better kind of a guy do you want as your captain? But he truly inspired the team to do well and play well.
He did.
And he did it by show.
Example.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, and that's the way he played. He played, extreme, like a gentleman, very much like Le Gros Bill.
Yes.
So it actually makes sense that Jean Beliveau was the captain for 10 years, and so was Saku.
Yeah, and people forget about him. Like you said, there's a forgotten name, and boy, he was a big part of the Canadiens when we were growing up.
Absolutely.
Look at this; it's a blizzard out here.
And you know what? I'm hoping Serge Savard is going to become the new Gary Bettman. That would be my candidate to take over the NHL.
The Senator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The Senator. Okay, so how about some video comments?
All right. How about some?
Vince Udo, one of our greatest commenters. Hey guys, Demidov had a 3-point game today. He is going to be just as special as Lane Hudson. When Drew Deeks jumped in the pool last summer, he knew we have drafted an elite player. Next year can't come soon enough. And if you remember, during the draft, we did a live broadcast from the studios of Video Site Incorporated by the swimming pool. And when they picked Demidov, who John said they were going to pick, by the way, Drew Deeks went crazy and jumped in the pool.
He got a little excited.
He got a little excited. He jumped in the pool.
Took all his clothes off.
Yes.
And jumped in the pool. Made a little splash. Not a big splash, little splash.
We had what's her name there? Lemire. Antica Lemire. What's her name? She was on with us, remember?
Antica Lemire.
What's her name? Lemire. I keep telling her she's my cousin. She says, no, I'm not. One of Drew's friends.
Drew's friends. That's right.
And I keep telling her, we're related. You're my cousin. We are. I mean, all Lemire's
I thought you meant the girl that sits by your pool all the
time. No, that's Sarah. That's Sarah. But anyway,
Sarah Smile.
He jumped in the pool, and that's what Vinny Houdon is talking about. Great memory, Vinny. That was a fun night watching the draft together.
You know. Speaking about Demi Doff had his first hat trick, I believe, in the league.
That is true. He did the other night.
Yes.
Yes. So
and I must say, it was nice for him to get a hat trick, but the third goal was an empty netter. But what the strangest thing was that the Russian coach, after he had completed the hat trick and the hats were on the ice, somebody had taken a baseball cap for the league at, what is the league, KHL?
Mm-hmm.
And they had tried to affix it onto Demi Doff's head, onto his helmet. And that was something I'd never seen before.
Only in Russia.
Russia with love.
And Vince Houdon, Habs trivia, too easy this week. I knew the answer without the choices. Answer is Guy Carbonneau. Did we already say this?
Guy Carbonneau?
We already go through. I think we already said this. Did we know?
Guy Carbonneau?
No, it wasn't. But he goes, "Where's my shirt?" Well,
yeah. We might have said this last week.
We said this. I'm gonna pull it off that. And he said the answer was Shea Weber, but
you might have taken comments from the previous week's show.
Because he thought it was Carbonneau and it was Weber, and he was wrong, so he said he has to stand in the corner.
And Weber was an easy answer.
Yeah, it was, but he got it wrong. Vinny, you're our expert. Come on.
C'est dommage.
C'est dommage. And another comment from Vince Houdon. He loves to comment. But this is we never heard this one before.
Okay.
Because we asked, where is Sauce?
Are you a Cincinnati?
I'm an octogenarian today. Where is Sauce?
Yeah, and Sauce is back in Laval.
Well,
actually, he's up with the club right now.
Sauce is playing in Laval,
but he's
doing well.
But they brought Sauce has been brought up right now.
Did he?
Yeah, he's actually with the club at the moment. He is with the big guys.
Getting ready to play Minnesota.
And because we took Struble and sent him down to Laval for conditioning.
Yes.
And so Harvey Pinard is up with the club currently.
But Gooley's hurt, so we got to bring a defenseman up too.
Well, Gooley just got hurt yesterday, right? So it'll be interesting because there's also a guy named Reinbacher who is currently skating with the club.
He's wearing the no contact jersey.
So
we also got Logan Mailloux.
Who as well will be playing in the Laval or representing Laval in the All-Star game in the AHL.
Yeah, so we're going to see what happens tomorrow night when they play Minnesota. We're going to see who's going to be on the team and who ain't.
It's really getting interesting. I mean, like my thoughts right away were, well, okay, you're sending Struble down for conditioning. That's because he's been sitting in the box and he just hasn't been getting ice time. Now you're going with 6 defensemen. The other night, you're getting on, a lot of people on social were getting on Matheson's case for not playing the best game. But at the same point, he played 24, almost 25 minutes that game. That's a lot of time. So what are you thinking? Are you thinking, I got to get Struble back in because he's going to be inserted, because I'm going to make a move, I'm going to make a trade, I'm going to trade one of our defensemen in the next week, 2 weeks. There's a trade deadline, I guess, before they do that. But isn't there? There's kind of one because of the playoff that's going to go on.
Oh, did they change it? It's usually around March 1st or something.
But they do they might do just a temporary freeze because of the break. That 2 week break.
The tournament
where they're doing their tournament. and then there's one for before the playoffs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know if he's getting ready to make a move here, and and again, and he's trying. And where will Reinbacher go? Will he come up? Will Mailloux come up? Put Reinbacher or Laval? It's all getting interesting in that respect.
Yeah, it's going to be like a chess match for the next month.
Yeah, a bit, and I mean, and we know how important it is to keep everybody like playing hockey in development and conditioning.
That's true.
Last night we saw a guy named Pizzetta have a big opportunity to have his first goal.
Yeah,
and I think if he had been in maybe a little better condition, he would have got that puck maybe a little more on the blade of his stick, and we might have changed the outcome of that game.
Yeah, true enough. So he says Sauce and Laval doing well. He's on the last year of his contract, so not sure if Habs will re-sign him because they have too many better prospects in the pipeline. Reinbacher started skating again. He may get some games in March with Laval. Go Habs, go. Absolutely.
But HP will be is up with the big team right now.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen if he'll get ice.
Raphael Harvey Pinard. We call him Sauce.
HP
Sauce.
That's where, yeah. That's an easy way to remember his last name. The hyphenated last name is HP.
HP. So let's move on to the games. And like I say, I'm not too sad about the way Montreal played. I was a little bit. They looked uninspired in the Wings game. There's not a lot of jump in their step, and the Wings were allowed to blast 45 shots at Sammy, and the Wings aren't that good. This was a recipe for disaster when you started allowing that many shots. We managed 29 shots ourselves. We were 1 of 4 on the power play. At the end of the day, Habs looked listless, and the D gave up way too many shots. This was a game I thought we could win when we talked about it last week.
It's one of those games that we should win.
And a bad game to lose.
Especially because it's a 4-point swing.
Yeah, it's a 4-point swing for the wild card spot. And a game that I really, really thought that we would win. And Marty pulled a fast one on us. We said Dobes would start. We thought he would get the start after the game he played, and he didn't.
And Marty continues to give the workload to Monty.
Oh, he could still play them, but Dobes played a great game against New Jersey.
And that's what I'm saying. Like right now, he's giving the majority of the work is still going to Monty.
Yeah, I really thought that Dobes deserved the start back against Detroit. It would have been nice. That's not how he saw it, Marty St. Louis. So
it'll be,
it is what it is.
Monty's going to play for Team Canada in this 4-country tournament. It'll be interesting to see if MSL starts to play Dobes a little more before we get to that two-week break, and especially after it, because it's one thing even if Monty doesn't see a lot of rubber, and I'm talking pucks, during that tournament, then he still has got to work. You know what I mean? He's still going to work every day.
Yeah.
Where the other guys are going to get a little bit of a break and a little bit of a reset.
A little bit of rest.
And then start to, maybe concentrate on skill and re-examine skill and things like that. It's a nice little break.
Well, it's really funny because you see a lot of these goaltenders go like to the Olympics or to these world championships and that. Sometimes they come back hotter than a pistol. Other times they come back and they're dogs. And it's the same with teams. A hot team rolling right now, like the Jets, for example. They go into this tournament and all of a sudden everything's shut off for 2 weeks and their roll stops and they come back and they just don't have the same oomph and excitement and, that motivation and mojo they had before they went to this tournament. So I hate these tournaments. Yeah. I can't stand them. To me, I hate them. I wish they'd get rid of them all. They're just junk.
But remember, too, with the St. Louis Blues during that All-Star break, that team took the reset, and then they won the Stanley Cup that year.
They actually got a new coach and put in another and changed goaltenders, I think, in December.
That was part of it, for sure.
And they came back. They won the Stanley Cup that year. They put in, what's his name, who never who never Biddington or whatever his name is,
Binghamton.
Captain Binghamton. They put him in, and he never made it back. That was the only year he ever did anything, but he won the Stanley Cup.
Well, you know what? What can you say? Hey, you got your name on the Stanley Cup. That's what you can say.
That's it.
I
don't have my name on the Stanley Cup, but neither does Carey Price, so I don't feel so bad.
That's a good point. Well presented.
I get as many Stanley Cups as Price.
That's a good point. Well presented. The nice thing, the interesting thing I saw too, like, watching those last few games, was Dobes on the second goal on Saturday night. He knew it was his fault.
Yeah, he was looking, going, dang.
He knew it went. Yeah, he knew it went through the 5-hole. He knew he should have been down quicker. He was being screened, but he took it out on himself. But he took him. He did it in a very marginal way. He didn't take the stick and break it across a crossbar, anything like that. He thought about it and said, yeah, I should have had that. I watch Monty almost every time Monty lets a goal in, and he'll the first thing he'll do is grab the water bottle and give himself a spray, and
like this.
And I think,
why does he do that?
Well,
is he thirsty?
It's a routine. I think it's a routine, and it's a way of kind of getting your head around the fact that they scored a goal on you. I don't know if you remember, we go to watch Junior A hockey here in Niagara Falls. We watched the Montreal Junior Canadiens. They had a goalie named Wayne Woods.
Yeah, Wayne Woods.
And Wayne Woods, whenever he let a goal in, he would throw a fit, and it was like, well, that's a lot of anger and rage. And is that really being productive? And I think it's the balance of the two. And so that's what I kind of like with Dobes right now is he's like, yeah, I got to get my head back into the game. With Monty, you never know if he's upset with the goal or not because he does the same routine. And that's the way he's been trained and conditioned to deal with a puck going, into the net. And so it's interesting to see.
It away.
I'm very carefully watching Dobes. I really want to see Dobes get a few more games. I hope that he does leading into this break and exiting this break that's coming up. I really think Dobes could be a big part of our future.
Yeah, I think so too. And we're just waiting for Fowler too, who's tearing it up in the
that will all come to play.
Yeah, I think him and Hage are up for the Hobie Baker Award.
That's incredible. Hey, two of our guys, two of our draft choices are up for the award. That's fabulous.
Yeah,
that's fabulous.
That's fabulous. It is fabulous.
That is fabulous.
So we gave that game away to the Red Wings. There we go. So we move on to the Devils, and I thought that was another good game, a game with heart. We're down 3-1. We came back. Carrier getting his first as a Hab. Susie getting his 15th. CC getting his 25th. Slaf had a decent enough game, notching 2 helpers. Dobes should have been the first star. He turned in a tremendous performance, and he got the Habs to the critical point. But you know what? Habs always have trouble with New Jersey at the end of the day, and this was no exception. I think, what was the thing? They had lost 9 to them or something. I don't know. Some crazy stat, but it was a great game.
Who plays goal for New Jersey?
Well, I think Marty Allen.
Jake Allen.
Jake Allen, that's right.
Jake Allen.
Doesn't he play quarterback for the Buffalo Bills too?
No, that's Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, that's right. Josh is the loser. Jake Allen wins.
He's the winner. That's correct.
Okay, I got it.
You got that right.
I got it.
You got that right. and Jake had a great game.
He did. A phenomenal game.
There was another ex-Hab who put the puck in the net.
Yeah, that was it Eller?
No,
Eller plays for White.
He plays for Washington, doesn't he?
Well, he was playing for Washington, but I think he plays for New Jersey now.
Oh, does he? Yeah. And
I think so.
And he
Vince Hudon, look it up.
I mean, Eller and Gallagher back in the day. I love those two when they played together.
I like Lars Eller. Yeah, he was playing for Washington, but in Carolina, I think. And I got a feeling he's playing for New Jersey now. Maybe the Rangers. I don't know. One of those.
But who's the guy playing for Jersey?
That scored a goal that used to play for us?
Yes. On Saturday night.
Oh.
I should know. I mean,
I can't think of the name offhand.
I think he liked to eat pizza when we were winning Stanley Cups. or the year we went to the final.
He liked to eat pizza. Ooh, Pacioretty?
No, it wasn't Pacioretty.
Okay. Pizza Ready.
But I'll have to look.
You have to look it up. I can't think of it offhand.
But he also was impressive and put the puck in the net as well.
He liked to eat pizza.
We had an opportunity.
This is a good trivia question.
Yes. We had a good opportunity to win the game. I mean, we went into overtime.
Pizzagate. Who the hell would be the pizza man? I would be me. I love pizza. But regardless, I think we played a really good game that game, and we could have won that. Went into overtime. We came back, showed character again, and we could have won that. We didn't, but you know what? At the end of the day, hey, we lost the game. We got a point. I was happy about the point, and I was hoping we grabbed 2 in the Jets game last night.
Thomas Tatar.
Tatar, that's right. The Tatar sauce.
Thomas Tatar.
Yeah, Thomas Tatar sauce.
There was a famous.
Yeah, he went to Vegas. He went to Vegas.
Slices.
No, he came from Vegas.
He used to eat slices of pizza during that final run.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some famous pictures of him
eating pizza. Little Caesars.
Thomas Tatar. So I mean, a couple of ex-Habs really were playing quite well against us on Saturday night.
That's another guy kind of like was Tatar when he came from Vegas, but we got him with that trade for Pacioretty.
I mean, we started the overtime with Jake Allen was out there. I can't remember who was on. Or no, sorry. Evans was out there for us. And
to win the faceoff, so we get the puck for a change.
And I can't remember who else we had out there as well. I can't remember who was on defense. It might have been Matheson.
Either Matheson or Hudson.
And we also had
Gooley.
Dvorak. He actually took the faceoff.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so good. We didn't win, but good.
But we got to continue to get faceoffs.
Well, that's a big thing. We were running at 47%, 49%. Our faceoff percentages were not that great in some of these games.
It's been dropping off.
And in 3-on-3, that's really important because it's all about possession. You got to get that puck and you got to make your run at it and try not to give it away. The more you can hold on to it, the better chance you have, right? So, yeah, faceoffs are very important. I know you said that we brought a specialist in for faceoffs. Hopefully he's going to
Hopefully it's going to make an impact.
Hopefully it is, yeah. Then we move over to the Jets game. I mean, they lost that game, but man, they played a great game and they could have won that. They took it to the Jets all night, 15 shots in the first period. They managed only 10 more shots for the rest of the game, but you know what? Jets weren't getting that many shots neither. They only had 20. It was like 25-24 or something like that, almost even. Slaf was the only guy to beat Hellebuck, who is playing like
a Vezina Trophy winner.
A Vezina Trophy winner that he's probably going to win this year.
That he is. He's won 2 in the last 5 years. Right?
Yeah. I mean, Jets appear to be the team to beat right now. Believe me, they're playing phenomenal hockey. Habs gave it their all. Just gave them short against a very good team. Cooley was injured, which may bring Logan Mailloux to the Habs for a stint. So I wasn't upset about losing that game. Jets are a good team. And, I get more upset about losing to teams like Detroit and the Leafs and stuff like that.
Well, games we feel we should win.
Yeah.
You have to definitely get upset about that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Jets because most teams will go in there and the Jets are going to beat them. I mean, they're leading the NHL right now. So, I'm not worried about that. We don't lose any ground to anybody with the Jets. They're going to beat most teams. If anybody can beat them, that's great for them.
We played a great game.
We did.
We had some great scoring opportunities. In that first period, Gallagher had 3 himself. Okay?
Yeah, there you go.
Later in the game,
he played a great game, Gallagher.
Gallagher had an amazing first period.
He was motivated.
Suzuki had an opportunity. I think he had a pass out from Slaf from behind the net or CC, and he got beat by the goaltender on a toe save.
Yeah.
That could have easily been a goal. Josh Anderson got a pass at the blue line and went in on a breakaway, and again, that could have been another goal. Right away, we're 3-3, 4-3. We could be winning that game and not having an empty net goal scored against us.
Yeah, I thought it was a great game. Lane Hudson that up. Geez, he rang it off the crossbar, then it hit the post and came out. If that goes in, that's another one that changes the whole game.
From an offensive standpoint, with the team, all you can look for is your team creating good scoring opportunities. And that's what this team is doing. In basketball, a guy like Steve Kerr, who coaches the Phoenix Suns, all he wants to know is that his team is putting the ball on the rim at the right time. Puck possession, moving the puck around as well, circling, everything else. And then at the end of the game, if it doesn't go in, well, it didn't go in. But as you go further to become a team to win a Stanley Cup, you have to find out how you're going to make those scoring opportunities into goals.
Yeah, and like we skated with a very good team all night. It wasn't like, we got blown out here.
No, we played a very respectable game, but the puck wasn't going in for us.
Yeah, and sometimes it don't. So so you're going to lose. We're not going to win every game going out. So let's hope that this little 3-game stint here ends our losing, and we can get back on track with some wins.
Last night after that game, I don't know why, but all of a sudden this song came into my head.
Telephone is ringing.
You got me on the run. No, it wasn't Alice Cooper.
It wasn't Alice Cooper.
But it was a song called Back Down to Earth, done by a group called Zon.
Zon.
I don't know if you remember Zon. I actually saw them play, I think, once here in Niagara Falls back in 1978 at the Uncle Sam's Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
77, 78.
Zon.
They were a Canadian band out of Toronto, basically, Mississauga. And they had a record that came out in 1979, their sophomore release. And they had a song on it called Back. And I think it was titled Back Down to Earth. And they had a song called Back Down to Earth. And I really kind of think that's exactly what's going on with Montreal. Like, we had an amazing run there for about 3-4 weeks. And now we're coming back down to earth. I think the team is doing really well, but this is not the team that's going to win 12 games out of 15 games for the rest of the season. We're not going to have that pace.
I mean,
I'm fine with that as well, because what we've done is we know how to win now. We're doing all the right things. Like, we had great scoring opportunities last night, so we're doing things well. We still need to be a little better in the D zone and improve on certain things. We're still fine tuning players and selection.
Yep.
But we've set up the organization now that this is the type of hockey game that we want to play for the next 3 to 4 years. This is the style of hockey we're going to play. And that's what we believe will take us to a Stanley Cup.
And, for me, this is where I wanted to be this year. I didn't want to be in 28th or 30th or anywhere down there. I wanted to be competing for a wild card. And I said that right from the beginning of the season. I want to be competing for a wild card spot. We might not get it. We may get it. But I want to be there. I want to be in the dance with everybody. And we are. And I can't be any more happy than I am, other than making the playoffs. That'll make me happier. But as far as my expectations for this team this year, it wasn't to be 28th or 29th in the league. It was to be competing. And we are.
Absolutely. And everybody who watched that game last night, who, if you're a Montreal fan, you enjoyed it because the team was playing well. You were upset and disappointed that we didn't win the game, but conceptually, the team played very well.
They did. And I'm happy. And we just got to move on.
When you're happy.
When I'm happy, everybody's happy.
Some people are happy.
I'm pretty happy so far. I mean, this is where I wanted to be. And, I wanted to be 500 by December 1st, playing 500 hockey. And I wanted to be in contention come, March and April. I wanted to be in contention for a wild card spot. And we are. They've delivered everything that I've thought we could achieve this year. And next year, we're going to get that much better.
Absolutely.
Right? So what the hell? So statistic-wise, we're 24-21-5 after 50 games. We're now 3 points behind Tampa for the last wild card spot and 3 points behind Ottawa, who has managed to climb into the third spot in our division. So we're right there, 3 points. I mean, we can make that up, especially when we play Ottawa 3 times and some of these other teams.
Playing Ottawa 3 times could be
huge.
Could be the playoff maker.
Huge, Buffalo. Huge.
Or the playoff breaker.
Yeah, we're right in the mix. We have to get going to make the dance. But at least we're here. We have arrived. Montreal has arrived.
The opportunity
arrived.
Is there.
It's there. It's there. So, like I said, we have to play Boston once more, Tampa once more, Ottawa 3 times, Detroit and Philly once and twice for Philly. And, it'd be nice to win those games. They'd be nice games to win.
Great games to win.
Here we go. Here we go. So this week, we have an easier week coming up with only 3 games on tap. Right? We're going to be playing the Minnesota Wild.
It's tomorrow night?
Yes. Anaheim Ducks and San Jose Sharks. Now, we should win all 3 of these.
Minnesota has a decent team.
They got a decent team. I said we were going to win it, but maybe go into overtime on that one. Maybe go into overtime.
They have a decent team.
But we go on that little bit of a road trip there. Anaheim, San Jose, and the Kings on the road. And then we come back home to the Devils and Tampa, which is going to be a big game. The Tampa game, that's a 4-point game right there. So I think on the road here, I think we can win these 3 games. I'd love to come back from out west with 6 points in our pocket. Wouldn't you?
We don't play Saturday night. What the hey?
What the hey? We play Thursday night, Thursday tomorrow.
And then we play on Sunday.
Then we play Sunday.
In Anaheim.
And then we play Tuesday.
In San Jose.
Tuesday. Okay. That's all right.
I mean, that's quite a run, though, too. I mean, we play Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Yes.
And then
Kings, we got to play.
And then we play Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, Kings, and then we come home for the Devils.
The Super Bowl weekend.
Yes, and they're afternoon games, I would imagine.
They are the 1 o'clock games. Absolutely. We love that. I love Super Bowl weekend.
I don't watch Super Bowl, so I just watch the games.
Super Bowl weekend's the best because Montreal plays 2 games on the weekend. I love it.
The only thing I like about that weekend. Because I couldn't care less about Super Bowl.
C'est magnifique.
So I think we're going to beat the Wild. I think it might go into overtime. I think it's going to be a tough game, but we can win it.
Well, the nice thing is that game isn't home.
What do you think we're going to get to play in net for the Wild at home?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm playing Dobes. What we get, I don't know.
I think we should play Dobes too. But, this Marty St. Louis, he's got this thing with Sammy. And even though we think Dobes should be in, Sammy will probably get the game. Anaheim on the Sunday, is that going to be Dobes? Who do you think is going to play that one?
Well, here's what I would do. Okay, so Thursday night I'm playing Dobes because I think he can beat Minnesota.
Okay,
and I think Minnesota are one of the tougher opponents in that next stretch.
Okay.
So
we go to Anaheim.
Then we play Anaheim. And because I played Dobes the night before, or the game before, I am playing Monty.
Okay, Sammy. Now, here's a question for you. Remember what MSL did when we had to go out to, where was it, Vegas or somewhere? Or he sent the team out like the day before and gave them one night there to get accustomed to the time change and everything. You think he'll do that same thing? It seemed to work for him last time.
Very possible. C'est possible.
So they'll go on Friday then and have the Saturday there and play Sunday.
And that's a 4 p.m. game in Anaheim. But that's probably like us playing at 7 o'clock anyway. So it shouldn't really disrupt us.
Well, actually, they're 3 hours behind us, so it would be like a 7 o'clock game.
Yeah, for us. Yeah, so it shouldn't disrupt us.
And San Jose, I think we should win that. So you're going to play Dobes back?
So now you got San Jose and LA. So it would only make sense that you're going to rotate the 2 for these games. So one should get, each should get 1 game. I would go with Dobes, Monty.
And then Monty again. Okay.
Although, if Dobes beats Minnesota and Monty was to lose to Anaheim, I'd consider giving Monty the game against San Jose because we have a much better record than San Jose.
Yes.
And I'd want to see Dobes play LA.
The Kings were a little bit better.
Yes.
Well, we'll see.
And they're marginally better than us now. They were probably, they're not that way better than us.
No. LA's not a great team this year.
So we have that opportunity to win, I think, 3 out of 4 games.
Yep, and last week MSL reversed it on us because we were saying Sammy Dobes Sammy, and that's what MSL did, and we thought it would go Dobes Sammy Dobes.
Exactly,
and he flipped it on us.
Yeah, and I think over the next 4 games, Dobes should get 2 games.
Yeah, I would love to see him play a little bit more. Definitely, like give him a couple games. I mean, he needs the games, number one, but number two, he's been playing really good.
He hasn't really lost a game,
no,
except the one in overtime.
And yeah, he's been playing fantastic too. And then he kept us in that game actually, so we could tie it.
And then in Super Bowl weekend, we play back to back, so he should be a split on that as well.
Yeah, he's going to get one of those for sure. Yeah, so I hope they give him a few more. I'd like to see what the kid can do. We're getting to the point where it'd be nice to get some wins. He's been playing great.
I think he's been playing fabulous.
Yeah, right, a hot goaltender, I guess. Sammy's been all right too, though. I can't criticize him so much, but
Sammy's made some amazing saves.
He's been good. He's been playing good. We got 2 good goalies now that are playing really good hockey. So we're lucky. We're lucky right now.
Absolutely.
But I'd like to see Dobes get a few more.
It's going to get interesting with the D.
It is. And then we'll see how Sammy comes back after this 2-week break.
Because I really think at one point, a guy like Matheson or Savard might get moved before the final trade deadline.
Okay.
And if that's the case, where's Reinbacher going to wind up? Where is Mailloux going to wind up? Where is Struble going to wind up? What's going to shake out?
Yeah, and I hope
and Carriere, by the way, as well, got his first goal on Saturday night.
He did. Yeah, he did.
So now he's like contributing, offensively in the sense of a goal, but he's become one of our. He might be our best D-man right now.
Well, he's a staple for sure. I mean, that trade is paying huge dividends for the Habs. I mean, this guy's playing 25 minutes a game.
Solid.
I mean, what a trade that was, because Barron really wasn't anything special. I'm glad we got rid of him.
Those are the little things that when you're doing everything well, you're executing your game plan, you're playing hockey the way you've decided to, everybody's bonding collectively. Now you start doing those little fine-tuning things of adding this player or that player, et cetera, or that skill set basically is what you're adding to your mix, and that can change everything.
Yeah, and I just hope that Sammy, look at these big cigarette hanging over their yap, these people. You know what? I hope Sammy goes to that tournament and he does a really, really good job in there, because I don't want to see him go to the tournament and be the reason that the team loses. That's going to screw him up for the season. We need him to play good and be in the winning mode when he comes back.
He definitely. I mean, we wish him every success.
Yeah, I wish Team Canada every success too. I mean, but there's some good. These teams they're good. I mean, we're not the top of the heap anymore, Canada.
King of the hill.
We're not the king of the hill anymore. So. Anything can happen, and I just hope Sammy plays good and he doesn't get bombed one game or something, because that doesn't bode well. You go to those things with high expectations. They pick me out of everybody else, and then you go, then you get hammered. I mean, I wish he wasn't even playing, to be honest. I don't want to see anybody playing from the team. I'd like to give him a couple weeks off, relax, go down to Jamaica and hang around.
That's the good thing about Susie and CC.
Yeah,
they're both not going to get injured during the tournament. Number one, because they're not playing,
and they're going to get rested,
and
Gouldy will get a nice rest if he needs it, and everybody else.
And Gouldy obviously does, because he's injured.
Yeah, and all these Reinbacher guys.
Reinbacher could be coming. I mean, that may be when Reinbacher gets reintroduced at the end of this 2-week break.
So like that. Yeah, this tournament bothers me.
Like no sense. Like we got 4 games
give me agita.
We got what? How many games now? We got 6 games before the break.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's really no urgency to rush Reinbacher into the mix.
No, exactly. No, just let him.
But
relax
if anything,
and get better.
maybe you introduce Reinbacher into the AHL.
Well, that's where he's probably going to go. He's probably going to start playing with Laval before he comes up. But this gives him some games we won't be tempted to bring him up. Let me put it that way, because we're not even playing.
Absolutely.
So that's a good thing, maybe. Okay, le 2012 de la semaine dernière.
Well,
I really couldn't call out A stars this week. So I'll let you go first, and then I'll give you what I think.
Le premier étoile for me this week is the first line. The first line is really playing well, and it's kind of, they go unnoticed, in that sense. Like CC and Suzuki scored on Saturday night. Slaf put the puck in last night. Slaf is in on every assist. I really like the way the first line is playing offensively. Oh, yeah. Now, I think they need to pick up their game on the D side. Again, I'd like to see a guy like MSL think about, tweaking. He was playing the first line against New Jersey's first line last night. I think we could have had maybe better success if we'd had a checking line on New Jersey's first line, because they were they had a great night, So that's just a thought. My second star is Dobes, because he's playing so well. He's a kid in the sense that he's only played 6 NHL games, I think, and he's now really he's like 5 and a tie, so good for him.
Yeah, he's got us 10, 11 points of the 12.
Exactly.
Woo!
So I love that.
Yeah.
And the third star is Demidov, because he continues to give us hope. He's playing in an older men's league. They're probably a step behind the NHL as far as speed and everything else. So we've got to be cautious the way we interpret the results that we see from the hockey in the KHL. But still, it's professional hockey, and he continues to excel and improve, and his development is encouraging.
Yeah, I'm just I really like Dobes. I think he should play more. I think he should play more, because I guess I just don't get the feeling Sammy's going to be our long-term solution to going to a Stanley Cup. So if we can give Dobes more games and get him more experience, I think that would be great. Because there's no rush this year. Where we want to be, fate might have it we don't make the playoffs, or we do, and at the end of the day, we're where we want to be. So let's start playing him a little bit more towards the end of the season. Now, I picked. I'm just kind of honorable mentioning people here. And Carrier continues to perform and make the trade for Barron, a huge win for the Habs. He managed his first goal in a Habs uniform against the Devils, I believe.
It was.
And I can't say enough about this guy. Hughes, this was I don't know, looks like the biggest steal ever.
It's a great trade.
Great trade. So I got a shout out to him. And I'm with you on Demidov, the hat trick in Russia. The guy's playing great. I can't wait to see him come over here and bring that game to North America on the Montreal Canadiens. This is just, and we might see him next year. So that's fantastic. And the other guy who's not getting, I don't think he's getting not enough love, and that's Slafkovsky. He hasn't got as many goals as a lot of people were expecting, but he is getting involved physically in a lot of games, and he's getting the puck to players that can score.
Absolutely.
The guy's only 20, right?
Slaf is playing great, I believe. I think Slaf is going to be like Les Gros Billes.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next Jean Beliveau maybe for this team.
Yeah, the guy's only 20. He's a huge ceiling. We're going to hear a lot more from this kid in the future. He's 4th in scoring on the Habs right now. And for all the people who say he doesn't do anything, because he's got 7 or 8 goals or something. He doesn't have a lot of goals. he's out there. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. Don't worry about Slaf. He's fourth on the team in scoring. He's going to be okay. And he's getting his points. He's getting assists. He's learning to play the game as a young guy in the NHL. And I think his ceiling is so high. And we're going to see a lot more out of him.
One of the reasons I think CC has had such a productive goal-scoring season is because of Slafkovsky.
Yeah, he's digging in the corners. He's hitting. He's charging. He's doing all kinds of stuff out there. And he's when he gets the puck on his stick,
he can put it in the net.
He can put it in the net like last night. And he does do some neat stuff with the puck. He's going to get it. Guy Lafleur, when he first came in the league, he wasn't a name. I mean, he's big in junior hockey with the Quebec Ramparts, I think he played for, something like that. Anyway.
Jean Beliveau.
It took a few years.
Jean Beliveau played with a guy named Boom Boom Geoffrion.
Boom Boom.
And Boom Boom scored 50 goals one season.
Yeah.
And the reason he did is he had a guy named Jean Beliveau passing the puck to him.
Exactly. And also they threw Maurice Richard out.
The Rockets.
Yeah, they threw him out because he was smashing guys with a stick. I mean, the Rocket was the best.
Well, the Rocket was the best.
There's nobody in the NHL that played with that intensity. His eyes turned black when he played hockey.
The Rocket saw the net.
He did not. You know what? The Rocket didn't see the crowd. He didn't see anything but the puck and the other goal.
That's it.
And that puck had to go to that goal and go in.
It was the best.
He didn't care if he was bleeding. He didn't care what everybody's doing around him. All he cared about was putting that puck in the net and making it play so it could get to him so he could put it in the net. The rest was irrelevant. His eyes went black, and that was it. That's intensity right there.
It's determination.
It is. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, John, that's all I got for today.
That's it for me. C'est fini, c'est tout.
So now we just wait. Now we wait. Get a game tomorrow night.
We're back down to earth.
Yeah, we're back down to earth.
Since we've been away for a long time. But we're back.
But don't sweat it, everybody, because they're playing good hockey. They're playing good hockey. Don't be mad about last night's game. They're playing good hockey. They hit a good team. And there are good teams in the NHL. And they're going to go on their way to the Stanley Cup. And when we play them, as long as we're there, that's all I care about. They give us. I don't want to get beat 7-2 by Buffalo Sabres. That upsets me. But losing, 3-1 with an empty net goal, 4-1 to a team like the Jets, that doesn't upset me. They were in the game to the very end.
Yeah, and it's important to have continue to build and make great scoring opportunities.
That's it. And
now,
eventually,
you start fine-tuning a few other points of the game, and everything will come together.
That's right. Well, there is a point, and you're going down these roads, and hard luck, or good luck, I should say, good luck meets opportunity. And the opportunity comes through hard work. And good luck will meet that road, and when it does, we win the Stanley Cup.
Is that for the Wizard of Oz?
I don't know. I just made it up.
All I can tell you is this. We live in Niagara Falls.
Yes.
And it's a stone's throw from a place where we used to love to go for chicken wings.
Buffalo.
Correct. And Buffalo continues to lose championship games. And
why?
And Buffalo's got a great team. They got great players. Okay. But the other night, Kansas City coach, who's the defensive coordinator, he called an amazing game. And he looked at the Buffalo offense and he picked apart a certain play where Josh Allen would take the ball and go over the left side of his offensive line as they tried to push him across for extra yards. And he stymied them a couple of times. And they continued to be frustrated by that and tried again and again. And so that made him even more successful because he stopped them, the coordinator, because he had picked apart that play. And that's what we will eventually be doing as our team evolves, is fine-tuning our game
to pick apart
another team's game. And that leads us to success. That's the road to
The
success.
road to perdition.
Is being, what is it? Is being prepared.
Like a Boy Scout.
Totally. Preparation is a key here.
Okay.
And that's where we're working at with our behind the scene of Ken Hughes, the Wizard, and MSL.
There you go. And the Boy Scouts, be prepared. Always be prepared.
Say two, preparation.
That's it. Nice. It comes right down to getting ready for every game and giving it your best.
Yes, and at one point saying, this is what we need to do to this team. This is how we have to play this team, and then executing the game plan. That's what it's about.
There it is. And on that note, I'm out of here, and my co-host is out of here. We're Habsolutely.
Make sure you like us.
Yeah, make sure you like us. Make sure you subscribe.
Make sure you share our show with your Habsolutely friends.
That's right. Yeah.
And leave comments.
Leave comments, thumbs up, subscribe, notify.
As much as we like reading Vinny's comments, we want to hear some other opinions.
Yeah. But Vinny does know his hockey. He loves his hockey. I got to give him that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And his wife apparently knows how to Google.
There you go. There you go. Hey, my name is Paul Kelamir.
Je suis Jean-Louis Filion.
We are Habsolutely coming to you live from the studios of 4680Q in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. See you next week, noon on Wednesdays on 4680Q. And later on in the afternoon, you'll see the video. Just subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe, and you'll get every one of our shows. And if you have comments, we love them. So take care, everybody. See you next week.
Ciao, ciao.
Au revoir.